It has been an extremely busy couple weeks. Just to fill y'all in, like I've literally had an exam or multiple exams and quizzes in 1 week, and that's been crazy. So it's been harder for me to film. I've just been trying to like really balance my schedule so I don't get stressed out. So like balancing it with like going out with friends, and doing like extracurriculars, as well as like keeping up with studying, keeping up with my work and assignments that are due. So that's been a whole process. But I just took an exam at 7:30 and I did really well. So that's like one thing checked off for the week. My next task is sign-offs for a foundation. So we have to get sign off on vital signs, and we also have to get signed off on wound care. So like wound irrigation, like a moist to moist dressing and a dry to moist. No, a moist to moist dressing and a dry to dry dressing. So that is what I will be showing y'all today. I just got back from the Dollar Tree, so I'm gonna show you what I got. Okay. 2 big bags of stuff, and I'm super excited. I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna be making everything, and let's get into it. Don't mind the mess in the background or the water bottle, but this is basically everything that I got from the Dollar Tree. I had to improvise because this is one of the packets that they give us in lab, but I used a lot of it during practice lab. These right here are gonna be like the dummies, so what I'm gonna use to practice my wound care on, and y'all will see the transformation through this video. But I'm super excited, and I'm a really hands-on person, so hopefully this goes well. Okay, so y'all probably know that I love the Dollar Tree. I apologize, my room is a mess in the back, my bed's not made. But I have been having exams, so, and then you see my scrubs in the corner. Bear with me. Okay, let me turn on this light. Okay, so this is like, you get this in the, you get this in the, you get this in the floral aisle, and like, you know, this is where you put like the fake plants in. So with this is gonna be my dummy, my little mannequin or whatever. So I am going to do the moist to moist one first, just because I brought paint for it to dry. So I'm carving this out. This is styrofoam. I'm gonna carve it out, and this is basically, so I just made the circle for the wound. I actually might do it a little bit bigger. But I'm gonna have to carve it out first. I think this is a good enough hole. You saw, like I kind of just digged it out with my hands. I wasn't trying to mess up my nails because I just got them done as self-care for doing well on one of my exams. You know, hey, whatever motivates you, right? So let me dump this in the trash. Try not to make too much of a mess so I don't give myself more work. Bought these from the Dollar Tree. Once again, this is not a sponsored video, but I am literally the Dollar Tree queen, so if they would like to sponsor me, hey, I would be very happy. So this red paint is obviously like to signify the wound. I could maybe put some concealer under there, some lighter concealer to like signify pus or something, but I mean that's really extra at this point. This whole thing is extra, but I'm just gonna paint it first. So, and honestly, my favorite place is the Dollar Tree because everything's $1. Okay, so I put a lot of paint in here, and I might have to try to dry it with a blow dryer, but I wanted it to be vibrant just because, you know, you want it to look like the wound. So this is what it looks like. I know y'all are probably like, sis, like this looks crazy, but when you're doing a moist and waste dressing, it's really important to see like the color, because like this green part is technically the skin, and then the red part is the inside of the wound. So I'll be taking the gauze and I'll be rolling it and putting it, unrolling it and putting it inside of the wound, and then I cover it up and I bandage it up. So I wanted to get something a little bit bigger, and if I went to Michael's, I probably would have been able to have it like a little bit more realistic. But I just need to be able to like go through the motions without looking at my lab manual, because for sign-offs you can't do that, and this will help me just practice like going through the motions. So it's not perfect, but it's what, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be resourceful, because the time that we're in, we're not allowed to be in the school like unless we absolutely need to, and it's for shortened periods of time. So typical world, without everything going on, I would have been able to do practice labs, like I would have been able to go in there and do it multiple times, but everything is kind of like shortened and condensed. So this is the end result. The green is my skin and the red is the wound. And so we'll come back to this later. I might add some like pus and make that like a gray color or like a yellowish color, but that's honestly if I have time. One is my dry dressing. Doing to signify like the dry dressing, we kind of just had it was like a straight line, and so I bought these borders and they're like decorative borders from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm basically just gonna do is just cut this or rip it, stick this back on here, and this is too long, so I'm gonna do it again just because I don't want the whole model to be covered. Yeah. So this is the dry dressing. And it's a little off center, which is going to drive me insane, but I think it's cute. My model is smaller than what it will actually be when I test on Wednesday. They are going to be smaller, like for obvious reasons. So if I look at this, I'm kind of just gonna measure it, and this, I just got some white felt because the ABD pad is white, and I didn't want to kind of veer too far off from what the colors were. So I need a marker. Marker. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark, use this styrofoam as my template. I'm gonna mark where I need to cut. So I don't know if y'all could really see, but there's like a faint orange line, orange dot. So since it's about that size, I'm gonna cut like smaller than that. And I have scissors at home, but I just decided to buy the ones from the Dollar Tree because these are craft ones. So I didn't want to have to struggle. Okay, so this is this, and this is the size, which is like significantly smaller. And it covers, which is good. So I'm happy about that. This one will be for the moist. And then now I'm going to do another one for the dry. So I got a real first aid kit just because this has 8 sheer bandages, 4 small sheer bandages, 2 like circular sheer bandages, 2 knuckle bandages, and 2 gauze pads, which is what I need, and then also 2 alcohol prep pads. And I already have like one of these in my backpack that I just keep every day just in case, you know, I have like a nick on my finger or something. I get a paper cut. So these are the gauze, which I'm very happy about that they come like this, just because when I'm practicing it has to be sterile, and so the fact that I could kind of like open it and then drop it onto the field, which is what you have to do, will be great for practicing. So each one will get a gauze, and then when I practice again later, or when my lab partner comes or my roommate wants to practice, we can just cut out felt and then use the felt to practice. Or, I mean, we can reuse the gauze, like it's really not that big of a deal, but it really just depends. Okay, so going back to the dry dressing, sorry if this is like irritating y'all that I'm flipping back and forth, but you have these long Q-tips. So instead of it being like this, it will just have the Q-tip, like the cotton tip, and then it will be like a long wood handle. And so I am basically going to tape these together so they'll be as long as they're supposed to be, like our practice ones. And these are also, and like everything is sterile, so these are also in a sterile. Oh, this is what I would use. I actually have more of these in my practice, but that's fine. I don't have the ABD. Oh, well, this is awesome. Okay, y'all, look at God. So this is exactly what I was telling y'all about, and I'll bring it closer so y'all can see the felt, the cotton tip, and then the wood. So when you're putting it in the saline, it will be like this, and your finger should not touch this tip, or it should only be touching the wood. So this is great. I have 2 of these to practice. Well, 4. Usually put all 4 in. And then like you discard of the Q-tip after you're done. I'm wondering if it has, yeah, so they don't call these Q-tips, it's called a cotton tipped applicator, but Q-tip to me. So good thing is I don't have to tape these together, but if I want to practice again and I don't want to reuse these old ones, I can just tape them up. Okay, so next thing I'm going to show y'all is the medical tape. So this is, I think I actually broke it, but it's waterproof tape, and it's supposed to be medical tape, and so it's like this, and you can cut it or with your fingers, they don't really care. And here is my turkey baster. We use these. This was literally in the cooking aisle, but it's the syringe that we use to irrigate the wound for the moist dressing. Don't need this, but I was so glad I found it because, you know, obviously not like that, but you pull it up with the water and then you do a steady stream. That's not the water with the saline, but we're using water. Okay, peeps. So I'm currently downstairs because I was like, let me show them how to do one of them so y'all know I'm not just over here, you know, being crazy. So I'm going to do, I believe, I don't know, I'll just do the dry dressing because the moist one is still drying. I came up with a like genius idea. I got the spray on deodorant and I sprayed it in the paint, and it like left this like white residue, and it's like bubbly, so it kind of looks like pus, and I'm very pleased about it. So I'm gonna do my setup, and I am going to try to perform the task. I can't guarantee that it's going to be perfect because I'm still practicing, but this will just give me a feel, and I'll just keep doing it over and over again. And then later when my roommate comes back from lab, she's gonna like watch me do it while reading the script, and just to make sure that I didn't miss any steps. So here we go. Okay, so we are about to start the process. I'm going to do a dry to dry, so I'm just gonna act like I'm in lab and I'm getting tested, and this is like what I'm doing in real life. Okay, so y'all enjoyed watching me. I think I hiccuped on a couple steps, but for the most part, I did it correctly. So now I'm gonna go back and watch my lab video and see what I, messed up on and missed. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if we have any nurses in here, please give me some tips on how to calm my nerves for sign-offs, and any tips and tricks that you have with blood pressure. See you next time.